Hello, I'm Jaren, and I'm here to talk to you about anything and everything interesting. Today, I want to talk to you about your ears. That's right, you heard me. Your ears. So what's so interesting about ears? Well, to get into that, let's talk about Robert Alexander for a second. He used to have the hobby of sonification. It's where you take things that should normally be perceived visually, numerically, what have you, and transmit it into audible data. Robert is a graduate of the University of Michigan, where he is now working on solar data. Okay, so let's take it a little bit further. Why is turning a picture into sound so interesting? Well, let's talk about Robert once again, because he is now in a group of cadre who are researching and devoted to the science of sonification. So why would you want visual data to be audible, right? I mean, you can see that picture so well with your eyes, there's no reason you need to hear it. Well, the ear can perceive changes in sound by up to milliseconds, according to neuroscientist Andrew King, while the eye can only detect changes in light up to 50 to 60 times a second, which is a huge difference. The vast difference in the senses is because the auditory system has the largest connection of neurons than any other system in your brain. Okay, that's cool, but what would we even use this for? Well, there have been developments lately in detecting cancer. They shoot an infrared laser at your cells, causing them to move around, and the proteins in cancer cells cause them to react differently, in so many technical terms. But for this kind of test, it takes a trained eye and expertise, and the process can take weeks because, as I mentioned earlier, the eye has a problem detecting subtle changes, when compared to the ear. They have found a way to sonify the cancer test so that it can be processed in the clinic right after the test is done. So no longer be a long waiting time to figure out if you have cancer or if you're healthy. They've done some clinical trials in the UK, and in about 400 cases, the doctors were able to accurately detect whether the patient was healthy or not 90% of the time. So the test isn't 100% perfect yet, but neither are the other tests. So they're still working to refine this one a little more so they can start using it in clinics everywhere. Well, that's all I have for you today, and if you really enjoyed this, please check out Ron Cohen's article called Sound Bites. Until next time, I'll be searching for anything and everything interesting.